Now, the MQM has said that their party has never compromised on principles and that cases against their workers and leaders were registered during all governments. Addressing an emergency news conference in Karachi after the NRO beneficiaries list was issued, the deputy convener for the party, Dr. Farooq Sattar, said that everyone knew the MQM wasn't part of any deal under the NRO. For details on this, our correspondent Hassan Abdullah reports from 9-0.
Well, the Muttahida Qawmi movement is putting these cases in two categories, those to do with corruption and those to do with sort of criminal charges, and they have categorically said that they are not involved in any of the cases pertaining to corruption. I'm now joined by Dr. Farooq Sattar, of course a very prominent face and the deputy convener of the Muttahida Qawmi movement. Now, Dr. you've clearly said that the MQM is not involved in any corruption cases, but of course you are not ruling out the other sort of cases that have been quashed. Do you not feel that by benefiting from the NRO you're perhaps giving legitimacy to this whole concept?
Muttahida Qawmi movement has had all the allegations or charges or any cases against it, 100% of which have been criminal cases, and those also have been instituted against the MQM leaders and workers out of a policy of political victimization, vengeance and vendetta. That is also on record, and when we have never deterred from facing those cases in the court of law, and we are even as of today, as a result of the 31st July judgment of the Supreme Court, or as a result of the making public of the list of those cases which were addressed by the through the NRO. If they are reopened by the court, MQM is MQM has made it clear that we had been facing it in the courts, and we are ready to face any charge, any allegation, any case against us in the court of law.
Now, you've also categorically said that.
And I would also like to bring it on the record that MQM never approached the review boards which came into being as a result of the promulgation of the NRO National Reconciliatory Ordinance. It was the Judicial Review Board on its own that they took the notice of the cases which were then pending in different courts of law, and they actually had asked for the list of those cases, and they on their own scrutinized those cases and reviewed them and decided to withdraw them.
Right. So now earlier you have said
there is no application on or request on part of the MQM that MQM demanded or MQM requested for any relief from Judicial Review Board forum, or for that matter from any forum other than the normal judiciary or the courts of law.
Now, you have said that MQM is taking a principled stance and it will not support anything that sort of supports corruption in the country. So do you not feel that perhaps carrying along in a coalition government is sort of indirectly sending the signal that you can still gain support even if you don't necessarily support that point of view?
Passage of NRO or any other such law which has a connotation of a protector of corruption or the corrupt people is one thing, and supporting a government and being in a government where one of the parties into the coalition has allegations of corruption against it is a separate thing. We will only advise our partners that if they have these cases against them, cases of corruption, irregularities, then they should show the courage of and the political will and wisdom of facing those cases also in the court of law.
Now, you've said that the MQM is going to be facing these the courts. What about the coalition partners when they do actually turn up at the courts, if they do decide to do so? What's going to be the MQM's stance if those cases are proven to be so?
I think then it will be altogether a different ball game. If those cases are tried and then they are proved to be right, I think then the whole government might lose the right of actually being in the government. So that will be a different thing, and I will not like to go into the speculation that what will be the outcome of such cases. But for the time being, what one can say is that the politicians have an identity that of being that they're political activists, and all along their life they have put up a political struggle, and if they are called upon to face such action, they should not be fearful of facing the cases in the courts of law, and that is what we are saying.
Great. Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Farooq Sattar, there, the Deputy Convener of the Muttahida Qawmi Movement. Now,